Hi everyone. This video is quite different from rest of the videos because instead of writing the code, I will explain what I have already written. So as you can see, this is the mini website which I have recently created. So this is our search bar, and then we have some personal information. We have some input, different types of input widgets. So let's understand them one by one. So first of all, we know very well about this part. It's a heading, as you can see right here, user profile, and then we have our main body. Now let's discuss the main body. First of all, this line will create this search text. Okay, so label and then search text, and then this input will create this search bar. So as you can see, it is looking like a simple text input, but it is a search input. As you can see, the type is search. And then after these two widgets, we have field set, and then we have a legend, that is personal information. And then after the legend, we have this whole form. Oops, yes, till this point we have this whole form, and inside this whole form we have different input widgets. First of all, we have this label which represents our first name, and then the input, and here as you can see, required. So the required field make an input tag mandatory. Users have to have input tag. So for example, if I click on this submit, as you can see, browser is throwing an error. Please fill in this field. So this field is mandatory, and you can embed this feature with the help of this required attribute. And then after the first name, we have our last name, and then we have two break rows, so in order to give distance between first name and then date of birth. So then we have this date of birth widget. This is the label for our date of birth, yes. And then we have this input, and the value of type attribute is date, and this date allow us to select date. So if I click on this date of birth text, as you can see, I can explicitly type because of this for attribute right here. And you can also click on this icon, and this will open this drop down menu and just select your date. So for example, if I select here first, I was born on 1st March 2022, and it's so awful for me at least. And then we have this salary widget. So the salary input is quite different from rest of the inputs because here we have used an other tag with the name select. So with the help of this select tag, I can select the ranges. So from 0 to $10,000, from $10,000 to $30,000, then from 30 to 50,000 and 50,000 plus. And with the help of this option tag, you can provide all of these options to this select tag. So I hope that you have understood this option tag and this select tag, because this part is different from rest of the code. And then we have this upload image. So user need to upload the image of his or her passport. So if I click on this choose file, I can choose a file. So let's suppose if I click on this capture, open it, and as you can see, we got the name capture.png. And now in the code, we have an input, and the value of type attribute is file. So with the help of file, I can select file, and here I have passed an other attribute, that is accept. So I'm telling the input tag that select only .png and .jpg files, not mp4 or mp3 or anything like that. Okay. And then we have this week widget. So this is the label for our week. Last week, as you can see, last tour basically. So when did user go for the his or her last tour? And then the value of type attribute is week. So with the help of this, I can select week. So let's click on this, and here as you can see, the default 34 week is selected, and it has 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 dates. Okay. So if I click on maybe week 27, and as you can see, it has selected the week 27, and then the year, which is 2022. And then we have some radio button. So what is your gender? and obviously my gender is male, and this is the label, which is what is your gender. Then we have a br tag, and then we have an input tag, and the type is radio. So this will create this radio button right here, and then we have a label for this radio button, which is male, and then we have another radio button, and the label of this radio button is female. Now the question which you will have in your mind is this name. So with the help of this name, user can select either female or either male, not both of them. So for example, if I remove this name attribute, then user can select both of them. Let's remove it, let's save it back, and now just select male, just select female. As you can see, user can select both of them, but with the help of this name attribute, we are restricting the user to only one option. And after this, we have email and password widget. We have discussed email widget in the previous lecture, and again I have made this input tag mandatory by writing here required attribute. And then we have the password, and the type of this input tag is password. Oops, it's not password underscore, it's just password. Okay, let's save it back, and again it's mandatory. And if I write something, as you can see, we got dots, and if I click on this eye icon, I can see it, but if I again click on this eye icon, we got dots. And then we have some checkboxes. So these are our checkboxes. Do you know HTML, CSS, or JavaScript? And the type of each input tag is checkbox, checkbox, and checkbox, and these are the labels for each checkbox. And user can select multiple checkboxes. So as you can see, I have selected 3, 2, 1, even nothing as well. And after this, we have sliders in HTML. So as you can see, this is my slider, and I'm asking the user how many hours do you work. So the minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 18. You can define the minimum and maximum value with the help of min and max attribute, and in order to show what is the minimum and what is the maximum value, I have written this 0 and then this 18 before and after this input tag, and the type of this input tag is range. So with the help of range, you can create sliders in HTML. And finally, I'm asking the user for URL, so your personal website link. So here user can enter a website link. He can enter his or her Facebook profile, Insta profile, or Twitter, or whatever URL user wants, he can enter here. And finally, we have a submit and a reset button, and I hope now you know very well what is the purpose of submit and reset button. So if I click on submit, I need to fill all of these fields, but I'm not going to fill them. By the way, you can get this code down below, so you can go through each tag by your own self, and if you are confused in something, you can modify it and check what is the purpose of each and every attribute in this whole HTML site. And I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.